everyone, I'm Mindy from Cute Girls Hairstyles. Today I'm going to show you 3 different hairstyles that are perfect for fall. The first one is going to be the 3-strand pull-through braid. Now if you watch really closely on this hairstyle, I'm actually using a very early formulation of magic dust, which is, you know, my magic dust powder, but it's not even in the right bottle yet. It's just in like a little clear bottle. But the second one is the diamond Infinity Braid, and the third one is the wrapped braid. All of these are great transitional hairstyles from summer to fall and perfect to throw on in sweater weather and drink a nice little pumpkin spice latte. Okay, this first hairstyle is the 3-strand pull-through braid. This is basically just your average pull-through braid, but you're using 3 strands instead of 2, which gives it a completely different look, but is really easy to do. Okay, you guys, so to start the 3-strand pull-through, what you're going to do is take a top section. So you can see I've parted my hair here and here and just secured them with an elastic. And then I kind of loosened it in the front. You definitely don't want it to sit like super slicked back on your head. You want the nice little pompadour. So there you go. And I'm just using these little elastics. You can hair wrap every elastic as you go. For me, it just matches my hair, so I don't worry about it. So once you get your pompadour set, the next step is to take the hair that's in that elastic and pull it forward and clip it out of the way. So just like this, or in the way, depending on how you're looking at this, right? Then you're gonna pick up the next section of hair. So for me, I'm just moving down like an inch and slicing again. And I'm just using my fingers to kind of finger comb it. I don't want it to be too like slicked back. If you were using this for a dance hairstyle, like your little girl's dance class or, you know, dance competition, you would probably want to do this wet and then use gel and then slick it because you want it to really stay put. But for me, I'm looking for a little softer look. So I have the section and I'm just gonna go and secure it with an elastic right here. Like this. Now release this top hair. So you essentially have 2 sections, they're sitting on top of each other. Take this top one, and this is where the 3-strand comes in because you're gonna divide it into 3 pieces. As even as possible. So you can see I have 1, 2, 3. Now I'm gonna take this bottom section and divide it in half. Again, just evenly. And I want this middle strand running right through the middle of those 2 pieces. So you can see I dropped the 3 right here, picked up the 2, and I'm gonna clip those out of the way. And I literally have no mirror at all, so I'm just doing this by feel, which means it's totally doable. Okay, next, pick up your next hair section. So again, I'm going back up here, pick up a section of hair. Same thing, comb it with my fingers or use a comb, but I don't want it too tight. So just soft comb it. Take an elastic and put it together. And you can see I combined all 3 of those pieces into that elastic. Now we're gonna let this top section go. So we're right back to where we were 1 step ago, essentially. Okay, now we're gonna take this top piece, and this time you can see it's kind of still segmented it into 2, but we're basically gonna just recombine it and create 3. Again, just try to make them as even as possible. Go to the under piece, divide it in half. Make sure that one's going right through the middle of them. And clip it out of the way. And then we're gonna pick up a next section. And repeat the same steps. Then you're gonna unclip the hair at the top. Again, you have it segmented into 2 and you're just gonna recombine it to basically create 3. Take the piece underneath, divide it in half. This one right through the middle. Clip it out of the way. And we're going to combine that all together with our last section. Okay, so then we drop the hair and do the same thing again. Okay, now this is where you have a couple choices. You can keep repeating this pattern until you run out of hair. And if you have really super long or super thick hair, you're gonna get a whole bunch of them going down, which is gonna look awesome. If you're like me and you have shorter hair that's thinner at the ends because I start having layers, see like how I start having layers popping out, then you might not want to take it all the way down, or you can take it down as far as you can and then just secure it. The next option is to take a scrunchie and put it in, but before we do that, we have to go back and create the magic of the hairstyle. Before we go any further, I'm gonna take a little texturizing powder and I'm just gonna put it through the braid, tap it onto the braid. And what that does is just help as I pull and I pancake the braid, it just gives it a little texture and a little more grip. And then go back and you start pulling each section out, just gently. And this is where the real magic starts happening. So as you pull all of these sides, you start getting that 3D effect that really makes the braid stand out and look different than other braids. And it actually, to me, when I get done with it, it looks like I have like two braids kind of side by side, but you really don't, which is super cool. Okay, when you get done pancaking it all, then I'm just gonna take a cute scrunchie for my hair this particular time and put it in and make sure I get it positioned where I want it. And there you go. Okay, you guys, here's the completed look. You can see that my baby hairs on the sides by my ears were already falling down, so I just went ahead and pulled them out. But you can, of course, always slick them back and hairspray them if you want to. Let's do the final spin. Second hairstyle is the diamond infinity braid. Now this braid makes like an actual diamond shape in your hair, but it's really just the same technique as a fishtail braid, which is cool. To start the diamond infinity braid, what you want to do is pick up a section of hair that's right in the center of their head, probably about 1 inch thick. Then you take it and you pull one small piece off to the side, like this, just one little section, and divide the rest of it into 2 pieces. So they're obviously gonna be much bigger than this original one. You take this outside piece that we have, this smaller one, and this is really important. You go under that middle piece and over the outside piece. And then do like a figure 8 shape, so you're wrapping it up and around again, like that. And that creates the very first stitch, which it's hard to see right now, but you'll see it as we move on, that it's just doing a figure 8, creating that infinity shape. The only difference to a normal infinity is that right here we're gonna take our fingers and we're actually gonna add a little slice of hair into that outside piece, and then we're gonna wrap our infinity around it again. So we're almost doing kind of like a Dutch braid version where you're adding hair in all the time. So again, I'm on this outside piece, I'm gonna take a little slice and add it in, and then wrap this up and over and around. So again, I have this piece, our bigger, thicker piece, that's the outside piece. We're gonna add hair in, like this. Then we're taking our middle strand, which is that smaller, much thinner strand, wrapping it around. And this is going to start creating our figure 8 shape. And we're just gonna keep doing this over and over and over for a couple minutes while we add in hair. You can really start to see the infinity shape taking place now. And we're just gonna keep doing this. This strand for me is getting a tiny bit thin. So what I'm gonna do is open up, you can still see it's in the middle. I'm gonna just pick up a tiny little slice of hair again and add it into that middle strand. So I just thickened that middle strand up a little, but it's still much thinner when compared to the other two. And as you get the little endies like this, don't worry about that, because you can just pop a bobby pin in. We're going to just about to where her ears are, so I'm nearly there right now. Okay, now I'm gonna do 1 stitch without adding any hair in, just to give it a nice, secure, tight hold right here in the middle. So over and then over, back to the middle. What you wanna do at this point that makes it fun is you start removing hair. So you can use a clip, like you can take the clip like this, stick it in the hair, and just like this, and then just add hair to it as you go. Or if you're doing hair on somebody else like I am, you can just ask them to hold pieces. So I'm gonna have Brooklyn hang on to this piece for me. And then I do the same thing where I'm wrapping it up and around, and we're still creating that figure 8, but instead of adding in every time, we're removing some hair every time. And there's no magic gauge on how big a piece to remove. I'm just kind of eyeballing it. You can see how it's fun with her highlights and her blonde popping through as we go. Obviously, as we continue to remove hair, this is going to get thinner and thinner, and our braid is going to start creating that diamond shape that we're looking for. When you get to a point, the hair will start to feel so thin that it just doesn't feel like you can keep wrapping it. I'm just about there, so I'm probably going to do one more stitch and elastic this whole piece together at the end. Hold those little tails in. Okay, I don't like how the elastic shows, so I'm gonna take some hair from underneath, and then you can topsy tail it, or you can bobby pin it, or whatever your preference is, but just make sure that that gets hidden. And then what we're gonna have her do is drop the hair, and we can brush it out. We're gonna hide this little piece with a bobby pin, like this. You can even loosen this up a little bit if you like the front a little bit looser. And there you have the diamond shaped infinity braid. Okay, let's do the final spin, you guys, on this diamond infinity braid. It's so cute. You can see the diamond shape. Super cool, I love this style. The third and final hairstyle is the wrapped braid. Now, just changing the size of the strand can make such a huge difference on the way a braid looks, but it's still the basic 3-strand braid when you look at it. Okay, now to begin this hairstyle, what I've done is pull her hair into a nice low ponytail. I wanted it to look a little more grown up because she's a little older, so I pulled her hair out a little to make it softer and left some hair in her face. This is definitely a style that you could jump right out of the shower and slick it way back and do the same braid and run to gymnastics. So this is one of those hairstyles that can be dressed up or down depending on your time and what you're up to. Okay, now when you get it all set in a ponytail like this, you have a couple options. You can do a hair wrapped elastic right here. I'm gonna opt not to because I'm adding a bow later. You're gonna start by sectioning the hair into 3 even pieces. And it's basically just a normal stitched 3-strand braid, but you're gonna pull little hairs off as you go along. So I'll show you. I always start by crossing the left piece over first, and I'm gonna grab just an outside strand off of that piece. And I'm gonna wrap it up and over the ponytail. This first piece is always one of the hardest ones. Try to pull it really tight and then pull it into that stranding again. So that's our first cross. Now the second time, I'm gonna take the right strand and cross it over the middle as well. Same thing, I'm gonna pull off a little section from this side. I'm gonna wrap it up and over, and again, I'm gonna try to pull it really tight as I can. And that's our first stitch. Now the first stitch is always the hardest just because they don't wanna lay, but after that it gets a lot easier. So again, you're taking left piece, crossing it over towards the middle. You're gonna pull a little section off of this outside edge, wrap it up and over, and add it back in. And it's gonna sit kind of right in that little elbow. We've got our strands, cross this one over, take stranding, wrap it up and over, and set it in. And you can see as you go along, it starts to form kind of like a zigzag pattern down the hair. Take a little bit more on that one. Wrap it up and over, and add it back into this hair. Cross it all over, then take your hair off, wrap it up and over. Cross it over. And wrap it. And so on and so forth. You can see the zigzag, zigzag, and every time we're kind of setting it where it divots in between the hair stranding. We're just gonna keep doing this all the way down until we run out of hair. And we're probably not gonna get much farther than that before I start having ends popping out. Plus I wanna go back and pancake her hair. So once I get to this point, I'm gonna go in and reach in between the crisscrosses and just give her hair a tug. And this is where we really start to see the shape of the braid, as it pops out. And that makes the zigzag pattern even more dramatic. If you have any of these, you can bobby pin them later. Me too. And then what I'm gonna do is secure it with an elastic. Here. Go back and just tweak anything that I don't like. Really try to overemphasize the zigzag, and I will pin that one into place. Okay, and then to finish it off, I'm gonna just take a bow. You could also do scrunchies if you wanted to, if you wanted a little more casual look. I wanted to go for a little bit more grown-up look, so I'm doing a nice velvet ribbon. I'm gonna put it right over that elastic to help us hide it. There we go. There, that's better. And if this really bothered you, you could even take some more hair and just wrap it around the elastic and hide the elastic too, so that it looked even fancier if that bothered you. You just use a bobby pin or slide that hair through the elastic and you're ready to go. Okay, you guys, let's do the final spin on this one. I love this one. I hope you guys enjoyed these videos. I love the fall. It's one of my favorite seasons of the year. All the cozy sweaters and pumpkin everything. If you guys are looking for other fall videos, you can find more by clicking over here. And don't forget to follow us by clicking subscribe right here and ringing the bell, and we will see you guys next week.